Live in the server here for Evil Geniuses versus Nouns, the decider. We've come the distance. We've gone all the way, and every single one of these maps has been a spicy affair. Back and forth, down to the wire, seeming like it comes down to one or two clutches. So let's see if Mirage delivers much the same. For Nouns, it's delivering a pretty successful pistol round, especially as Rush biffs his nade into CT spawn. MarKE will follow that up with a frag, and now they've gained this base, they've gained the bomb plant, they gained a lot in this round. They don't seem to know that Junior's tucked in the corner here, and Junior's going to take advantage of that fact. They don't have the man advantage. This could get very spicy. It's all about the CT fight at this point. Recognizing that, Nouns are going to back away.
There's a lot of util available here for EG, and George is going to tap the head of Carson. He's looking for another target now, but it's Stanislaw to drop bwills. Then Cynic falls by the wayside. EG have taken the pistol round, and they look a lot more comfortable to kick things off here, at least in the first round of play. I know it's still early to call it, but that was a really nice retake.
It was indeed. It was indeed encouraging for EG. Have had trouble with these nice starts to the round. Now the trick is to avoid the force buy, as that investment is certainly going to come through. bwills across the board. 2 flashes. All right. They even get head armor on everybody, so they don't want no util. They just want to fight this. Let's see if they can succeed. Cynic at least will have a smoke there. But just late. And there goes that smoke. Look like they're going to crunch the mid fight a little bit with 2 players underpass. They need contact somewhere to interrupt this setup, because right now it's pretty strong for EG.
EG really like this aggressive mid control.
Here's the flashbang. Don't know if the flashbang connects much. And Cynic's just dropped the bomb top mid. 1, 2. Okay, this round's over.
All right, George making a case for the FAMAS here. Nice little 3K. And Nouns, like, they don't have the bomb. They do have 2 players on the A site.
No.
1. MarKE gets 2.
No.
1v2. There's a chance here.
Oh,
There's a
my
big
goodness,
chance here.
MarKE.
MarKE with the 3-piece. He's only got 14 HP left. Walco's got bomb control at the very least, but now
There's time.
It gets really dicey indeed.
Plenty of clock. MarKE. Forward into the window. No information on this last player, but likewise, he's got the element of surprise in his favor.
He's got the smoke, too.
Does that do? Walco, though, does have an HE, which would be more than enough to take down MarKE, and Walco's actually going to press the angle. There's the shot. There's the shot for MarKE. He's done it. A 1v4 clutch.
Wow, that is just absolutely 1, ridiculous from MarKE, but 2, EG. They gave him the 1v1s again and again. I mean, MarKE had to hit the shots, and he absolutely did. Even that last one in particular, right? Because he's low HP against Walco, who technically has the advantage. The MP9 just 1 bullet, and MarKE's dead, but he still pulls it off. And that's another round. It started on Inferno, where we got those rounds where EG really looked like they should have been winning them and letting them slip away. That one is, well, I mean, maybe not as crazy, right? Because Nouns walked into it with the bwills, but a 4v1. 4v1. And they can't close it out.
Play for MarKE. bwills. Nice sweep in early, and this is looking good for the Nouns. Damage all over the place, but it's not going to matter if you just got Junior trying to capitalize with the P250. 4 of these players are knocking on death's door. As the bomb goes down, Junior's got a scout, and he's going to be content to slip away with just that. So yeah, this is going the way of the Nouns.
Yeah, and, well, Evil Genius has invested pretty heavily into the round, so that means they're going to be on an eco in the next one. I just can't get over it. Yes, great play from MarKE. I don't want to take anything away from him. It was ridiculous what he was able to pull off, but EG, you got to clean it up. You got to clean up those types of rounds. That said, Nouns have to be happy. They've got the 2-1 lead, and they got all 5 guns that they brought into this round that'll be carried over into the next.
Well, every great clutch Does require some errors on the other side, but
Of
MarKE
course.
lethal with that, and that was with a Galil as well. It's not like he even had a major weapon advantage. He just rocked it. 1v4.
It was impressive. It really was.
Just incredible. I mean, if that sets the tone for this game, Evil Geniuses might find themselves on the back foot early on. And they are indeed here.
Yeah.
Being pressured.
The thing is, Mike, usually I wouldn't be as negative, right? It's just that the trend throughout this entire series and the way it's led up to that point is why I focused a little bit more on the mistake for EG because, yeah, it's been a
I think
trend.
you're just still disappointed from what we saw from them on Mirage last night that we didn't get a conclusion to.
Yes, potentially.
It's
Maybe that's
staining
carrying
your
over too,
cast
right?
here, John.
It's tilting me.
It
No.
was inconclusive. We didn't get our nice, either them redeeming themselves in the second half and managing to, just keep it clean, or them being punished for perhaps some sloppier play. You didn't get that resolution. So this is some unresolved anger for you, John. Let's talk about it. Let's
Sure.
Let's
Let's
talk.
have a
What's your
session.
relationship with your mother like, John?
What?
You're on the therapy
So
couch.
we're
now.
going to therapy.
Yeah, we're head shrinking. We're head shrinking
God.
here. Oh, here's gonna be a fight in towards mid. They're all gonna commit. Nice damage. They got this last round though. Didn't result in any kills, and this time it'll get them one.
About the same. Look, I mean, one thing we didn't get to see from EG last night was their T side, right? We only got to see their CT side, which left a lot to be desired, and it still is so far. But they got the rifles now. Let's not jump into too many conclusions yet.
Big up for Junior. The big man on campus got the big green. Only sniper rifle out route now. Let's see if we can do anything with it. He's taking it towards B. Maybe anticipating the faster B play. Would actually not be a bad read on a bonus round, right? Always the potential. But that's not what's going to be happening just yet. Instead, they're walking their way out. Hey, they've got so much space. The Balk player, he's undetected right now. George under this Balk can't get anything done.
Oh, CJ.
CJ ripping these entries, dominating here, and this might already be a save. I mean, they're not moving a muscle, and instead, it's Stanislaw backing away. They don't have the utility for this retake. They don't have kits. It's going to be a punt. They are completely forfeiting this round. Maybe Walco takes a look-see blue just to see if he can't get something in this cappy. But now, having seen a whole lot of bodies, he's not going to fancy his chances.
No, get out of there. Get out of there, Walco. Unless you don't care about the FAMAS, which you probably shouldn't. Yeah, he's dead. There you go. CJ's got himself a 3K.
Propaganda again from you, John.
I'm sorry. It's going to happen a lot.
The
Not a fan.
Ministry of anti-FAMAS propaganda. Do they let CJ hunt? No. It's actually Carson going looking. He's got the Galil, to be fair.
Interesting to see. CJ Jr. is going to take a shot here. Doesn't connect on anything, but it's really interesting to see CJ going for these entries. He's not typically their entry fragger, as Stanislaw does manage to take him down finally after he finds 3, but now he's given up his position, and now the save is at risk. In fact, it's gone. No gun's going to get saved from the Evil Geniuses. As MarKE cleans up the last 2, Mike.
Punishing start to Mirage.
Yeah.
And I mean, part of it as well is some of the role swapping around, right? Stamina is a player who, when he was on the team, could go for some of the entries for sure. MarKE, definitely not what you want him to be doing. Not how you maximize his skill set.
No.
You want MarKE playing those lurky passive angles, so someone needs to swap in. You'd expect that to be Carson, generally, based on what they've played before. bwills as well is a player who's very eager and capable for the entries, but I think CJ going in first in a lot of situations makes a ton of sense in terms of he's first of all, he's having success in this series with the entries, but also then you enable bwills to actually play off of him, where I do like bwills as a second player in.
Definitely. I think bwills thrives more as a second player. And although I'd say that CJ, bwills, and Carson are all capable entry fraggers, this round might already be over, as Nouns have taken the A site quite decisively. Stanislaw is waiting for a chance to pop out and do some damage, and George comes in on a flank, but he can't get anything. Walco does find the flank on the Acidic, and Stanislaw finds MarKE. It gets interesting at the very least in a 3v2. Oh,
Rush.
Shot.
Rush is going to pose some serious problems here. He's alone, though. His teammate is not close enough to actually help him out, and now that he's dead,
that's done.
It's just not going to happen. Walco's going to save the AK. They'll keep this alive into the next one. I do want to give credit to Cynic, that turn top mid to actually kill the guy who was tapping him down. Woo, that was quick. Still dead, man. But whoo-wee was it quick. Either way, though, Nouns going to be very happy to climb onto 5. Yes, they've allowed one rifle to slip through their grasp onto the other side, but the economic damage on their own side, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Not one jot. Well, maybe one jot, John. Give them a jot.
Okay, one jot.
What is a jot in proportion to like a pinch? What do you think?
I don't know.
Jot or pinch larger?
I'd say jot.
Is larger? Interesting. Okay. All right.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it anyway. Here comes some aggression towards mid here for the Evil Geniuses, which has cost them in the past. This time, Walco and Rush are going to take damage, but will not fall by the wayside. Nouns didn't really want to fight that anyway. They only had MarKE there. He's just going to fall off of it. In the meantime, Nouns are lining up their util. They want to go for another A hit. Why not? It's been working really, really well. This time, though, Junior has the op. He's flashed out, and he still hits the shot onto Cynic as he's recovering from the flashbang. That will help immensely.
Timing shot working out beautifully there. Now they gain some space, but Junior wants to continue to hunt. He's got to be careful. Very dangerous to continue to stick around there. Jungle Molly in. George praying that doesn't spread. And it won't. He'll be alive here, at least for the moment. Tons of utility sailing over. Now players closing the gap, closing the distance. EJ, so ambitious, so bold. You just can't keep this guy down. You cannot stop him. He just wants to kick in the door and jump through. It's exactly what he does again, but once again we get into a situation where Nouns do not have a lot of health. They're going to need some of these first bullets to go their way. Walco's kissing. They're kissing in the smoke. He's gone through. He's gone through, but they traded places. Now they killed the window player. Oh, Walco's giving it away, but CJ, he's got to be a dead man. No, MarKE!
Oh, no!
MarKE bails him out! Ow! The moment is missed! Disaster strikes. They were waiting for CJ, knowing they had him hemmed into the corner, but they forgot there were still players alive on the site. And Junior is trying to shoot his way out of this one, but there is no escape. He goes out like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, guns blazing.
Oh, CJ is just unkillable almost at this point. Look, he's stuck in the corner. Walco takes down his teammate and then gives away his positioning. CJ wasn't really aware of where Walco was, but once Walco fires in his direction, he's like, oh, okay, now I know where to look. And then Walco, well, he doesn't get killed by CJ. It's the rest of the players that CJ made them forget about. That's how impressive he has been so far here in this first half. And I have to say, though, Evil Genius is looking a little lost as well. I mean, they have to be more aware of those possibilities, even though CJ did create that space all by himself.
Dude's a madman right now. Unstoppable right now. CJ the King, 11-4. And that is insane to think about when you consider the fact that he's just entering in every one of these rounds, flying out first and towards the site, taking as many fights as he possibly can. Bonkers numbers.
Well, last time they played this one against Take Flight, they played this map, against Take Flight, CJ was near the top of the scoreboard at 20-12, but it was MarKE that time who carried the weight of his team on his shoulders at 28 frags. And, well, I mean, we've already seen MarKE do pretty well for himself as well. It's those two players at the top again.
They're feasting. They're fiending in this round. They're going into B. Where is the op? Not here. I'll tell you that much. It's into connector. That's the one big threat in this round. Player spotted. Walco deleted. And what a nice swipe there from MarKE to get the second. Actually, it was bwills. Never mind. Who got the second? But either way, the end result is the same, which is that this round is over. Extra gun? Get out of there. Get out of there. Okay. They still can't take this round. They don't have kits. They don't have time. But that suddenly made this a lot more interesting than it needed to be. They are going to save these two guns, take them forward into the future, but it's going to be 7-1. Advantage Nouns.
I mean, I totally understand why Nouns are going for this one. They've got tons of money in the bank. They don't want to let Evil Geniuses save anything. They need to keep the pressure on. Junior and Rush. Position's given away now. CJ. Maybe they'll find a way to take him down here. Junior's holding the angle, and CJ says, you know what? I don't want to test that any further. He backs off, and EG do indeed save at least an op and an A1S into this next, or an AK, excuse me, into this next round. But man, you said it, Mike. 7-1 in favor of Nouns on their T side.
148 ADR for CJ. Kill and a half a round. Kill and a half a round through 8 rounds.
Yeah.
Just bonkers. Just silly numbers. George damage down here, but George Jr.'s rather is going to get the first blow. They know where he is. They pushed him off of this angle. Stanislaw on the edge of this smoke. He's going to check one and the second as well. He's killed the unkillable man. And this is going to be Stanislaw asserting himself here. He's done with these ridiculous rounds going against them. He's done with them getting bullied here on towards A. Stan is putting his foot down.
Still a chance for Cynic because they're okay. Never mind.
No more,
George gets
no more chances.
He blindside Cynic. They were 4 players, very low HP, but doesn't happen. No heroics this time. Finally, EG, like you said, put a stop to EG.Stanislaw. Bolsters that A site defense with 3 very nice frags in a row, and there you go. You needed that stop on A because it was full of holes, and Nouns were just running through it, scurrying through it like mice, slipping through every little crack. Now they're going to move their way towards the B site because why not? A didn't work. Let's see if they can find a little more something here at the B site. Walco's waiting. He's shown himself, throws the Molotov on forward, but there are 3 people waiting to charge on forward. It looks like that Molotov was enough to slow them up for the time being here, Mike.
CJ pushed off here in the underpass. B could come through, but he's got support top mid, so any peek is going to be very risky. And indeed, mid is going to be ceded over to Nouns. Not a lot of utility to take it, though. I know they're making the right read. If they get their way up catwalk, this is such a problem for Walco. Uh-oh, Walco. He's in a very rough spot here. Gotta find some damage, but he was not expecting them to be up cat. Comms maybe not there, or just a misread on the timing. Either way, now, no control on towards B. This bomb making its way over. No smoke for window, so they're a little wary, but this bomb will be planted, and a man disadvantage is a tough ask for EG.
I know it's a little early, but I think he kind of called for the save, given the positioning, right?
They're thinking about it. Man's gonna see if he can get one, but he can't, so he's backing off. They're pulling the plug. 8 rounds, an immediate isolation coming through from Nouns.
That shouldn't happen, though, honestly. Walco should not be facing off against both 3 players from Cat and 2 from apartments with no information. EG maybe getting tunnel vision towards that A site because of how effectively Nouns have exploited it. This means that Nouns are going to take this first half 8-2. And anything more than this would be gravy for Nouns. Double op setup is going to come through. We don't see it very often on the EG side. Stanislaw is going to be rocking that second op. Where are they going to post them up? Looks like Junior's going to stick to the A side as he's usually been doing. Oh, maybe he'll have a peek into mid. They do like to go for that mid aggression like we mentioned, but look at Nouns. They want to try and abuse B this time. Stanislaw gets tagged down to 16. That is from Cynic's off, and George slips through and finds one on CJ, but he immediately gets traded out by Carson, making it a 4v4, and that could trigger Nouns to try and abuse some space here in towards mid.
This is going to be the whole fight. This is going to be the whole fight. EG are committing out here. Junior finds a kill. They were not expecting everybody to be here, understandably so. Out on the bench, Walco's on catwalk. I mean, this was the full commit from EG, and it works out beautifully for them. This is actually something that we were seeing as a bit of an issue last night, was these full commits into the mid fight, but this time it works beautifully. It catches Nouns completely off guard, and Evil Geniuses are able to get out with 3 bodies alive and the double up surviving, so now there's cash.
Yeah, it's not too shabby, and interesting to see Nouns even try to go for the mid fight, to be honest, after they get that opening frag onto George, because EG has been showing a lot of presence in towards mid, so it's better to stay on the periphery and either go to the B site, which would have been a good play in that situation again, or perhaps rotate yourselves around and try to slip into A. Instead, they go straight up the middle, and that's where EG just lined up for the frags. There's Stan connecting with the big green onto Carson. That makes it a 5v4 quickly in favor of EG. And EG have had their fair share of man advantages, right, Mike? Just they haven't been able to convert enough of them.
Not necessarily, but they've needed a player to step up, and right now it's Stanislaw.
Yeah.
Right? He's had big involvement in their round wins so far, and that's another huge opening frag netted. So if they can have him step to the forefront and become the player to take over right now, that's something they desperately need to temper the explosiveness of this Nouns side. Not explosive in this round. Simmering. A slow burn. Just a little ember left after the forest fire that it was their first 8-round wins. But sometimes all it takes is that little ember, that little spark to reignite a blaze. And that spark's going to take them up catwalk. Walco under pressure again. He's been having a tough time of it. And they're out. He's got one. The second as well. This time, Walco delivers. And why not go for a third? Just do him one better. Leave bwills completely isolated here in the apartments, and he'll go down with nothing more. It's clean for EG.
Oh, this double op setup has really yielded the results that the evil geniuses were looking for. Again, it's the opening frag found by one of the ops. This time it's Stanislaw. And after that, Walco, who's been tested, like you mentioned, time and time again towards Ket, hasn't really had the answer before. This time, I mean, a couple of shots missed from Nouns, but he hits his transfer as well, and the spray was good. So a timeout going to be called here. I believe it's by Nouns to talk things over as they finally run out of cash after that ridiculous run.
And I mean, even running out of cash, it's pretty good. It's not bad.
No,
this buy. This buy is very workable.
But they don't have anything left should they lose the round, is what I was implying.
True. Unless the bomb goes down, John. And the loss bonus is built. T-sides are eternal. The T-side economy will never end. It is the snake eating its tail, John. The money just keeps coming. I don't know what these Ts are so well funded by, but they are well funded indeed, and their arms are cheap.
Nouns looks a lot better for EG than 2. Yes, Mike.
I was just going to make another Ouroboros joke. Junior! He's going to snap off the head of this snake. Carson was the first out, and he's the first to die. There's many heads. It's more of a hydra than it is a single-bodied snake type of situation. So they got a few more heads to cut and stumps to burn.
Where'd the second op go? Are they running it with the A1S?
I'm not sure. They may have just walked away from it.
Yeah.
Not quite sure on that read. I think maybe anticipating a rifle play here, they may have gone back towards the, or a pistol play rather, they may have gone back towards the rifles. But it doesn't matter because they've got double man advantage, so whichever guns they're bringing, it's looking pretty dang good for the geniuses.
Nice adjustment made by AG. Couple of players here waiting on the B site. Not going to be the easiest path forward here for Nouns. 50 seconds left. MarKE's been really good with the Galil again. At least gets one before going down. bwills gets the follow-up. This could lead to a plant unless George has something to say about it. And he absolutely does. There's one. And the follow-up as well. 5th round secured for EG. And now the money is broken for Nouns.
Shattered! A million pieces. No regrowing heads right now for this Hydra. But, I mean, they've already got 8 rounds, right? T-side, Mirage. It's already a phenomenal half. So they're more than earned a round to rest, restore a little bit of energy, and get ready for the next. And that's exactly what they're going to do here. They've got some smokes, maybe to facilitate a bomb plant, maybe to make things risky and frisky.
Only one on A here.
Yeah, and we've seen some of these limited buys get away from EG before. Have to win here. This is a must-do, and there's no one to watch. Rush has got one. Junior's back in. All right, holding them at arm's reach has worked out initially. Bomb down, though. So that mission accomplished. Rush dead. That may be their only casualty into the round. Just one wounded MarKE. Limping along here. P250 and a prayer. Prayer on answer.
No, that would have had to have been a complete misplay from EG to lose that round, and it's just not going to happen. They double peak the P250, and there is a 6th round secured. This was 7-1 at one point, but since that, it's been a 5-1 run in favor of EG. Almost lost my train of thought there, Mike. But yeah, round number 15, and this is obviously way better for EG than it could have been, given the way that Nouns were playing.
Ooh, Cynic. Lucky to get away with his life, but they're just pressing forward. Have to push players off here. The underpass goes against them. CJ, he's got his one. Oh, but he's not so unkillable now. The nades chase him out, and he's gone, So man disadvantage. Stan's stuck in a pretty awkward angle, unable to get the reload off on his rifle, and he's not going to be able to escape. The flash chases him, but bwills not coming along for this particular ride. Back in. Carson just trying to fight this. Is ambitious, and meanwhile, there's a player behind him at his flank. Junior's looking for this kill, and he's found it, and that drops the bomb. MarKE. The hero of the kill, he needs to do it again. This time, it's a bit of an easier prospect. Smoke down. That would be to set up the recovery of the bomb, but he's anticipating the player might be wrapping around, and he doesn't want to just get the bomb. He wants to win this round.
No way again. No way it happens again.
The preemptive smoke on Catwalk is interesting, because this definitely gives him the bomb plant.
Yeah.
25 bullets in the gun, so he doesn't need to risk the reload. I mean, look, I'm just saying, weather conditions are looking favorable. Pro MarKE, he checks. No one's there. No one's holding the line. Oh, one more check. No one's coming through. If you're going to play it, now's the time. Now's the moment. Player still bottom con. One catwalk as well. It's disjointed. Junior can maybe set up flashes for George on the peak, but really they'd like to go together, so Junior needs to get a move on, and now that bomb is taken away. Right read on the nade. MarKE on notice. There's a Molotov here as well. If George wants to commit more utility to it, MarKE could be in real trouble. There's the volley. And there's the line held by Junior. Well done. Well played.
Nice.
Identifying the obvious position and making sure it doesn't catch them off guard. And that... we're here in the second half. We're off to the races here in this pistol round, and taps are coming through. CJ has found first blood already. Maybe kicking back up the hot start, and he began the last whiff. bwills, 2 big kills. The smoke coming up doesn't matter. It's just left to Junior and Stan, and I mean, hope is dwindling fast. They're going to need a hero play. Stan does have the P250, Junior as well, actually, so possibilities here. The reinforced pistols, but they're going to need to be good with these. Junior gets the first. Starts the road to recovery here. 1:10 on the clock. And I mean, they're still grouped in Palace, so what do they want to do? A flank could be developing for all they know. And they're wary.
Yeah.
Stan's going to fight out. He lives. Barely, John. He lives.
Yeah, just barely. And I mean, they're trying. It looks like they want to go for a pincer attack of some kind from Palace and Ramp, but now no. It looks like Stanislaw is going to regroup himself with Junior. Down to 40 HP, and Junior is the tip of the spear. 37 seconds left. They're going to have to get a move on soon, especially with 4 bodies left to take care of on the Nouns Esports side. CJ takes care of Junior. That will leave only Stanislaw standing, and probably not for long. 1 frag, and that's it. CJ wakes up after quieting down significantly towards the latter part of that first half for a 3K.
Still top of the board for his team, and now after that round for the server as well. George and Junior, alongside Stanislaw, lit the way back in for the Evil Geniuses, but again, their slow starts are haunting them. Beginning of every map has been a slog.
Well, I mean, they did win pistol in the first half, remember?
And
but
then they got MarKE.
Everything else,
MarKE.
Exactly. So maybe it's better if they don't win pistol.
Perhaps. It's a revolutionary concept. Let's see if it can pay off. This inside force buy can be lethal. Advantage. Oh, that's good. For bwills. Overwhelmed. They threw bodies at this, but the bomb still hasn't been planted, and now the CTs are back out into the fight. Just left to Junior. He just has a deagle. Good luck, Junior. Stuck in. They're pressuring on. SMGs want to chase, and Junior, I don't know if he's getting out of this one. Going to be content to push him back.
Yeah, you have to be careful, right? You don't want to give him too many fights, because that's the way you lose the round.
That's true, but this is Nouns. Thought they might just go for the throat there. Junior, sensing a bit of hesitation out for them, is going to see how far back they've bailed. Only 34 points of health. If he gets connected onto, he's likely a goner. So the element of surprise is his best friend. Up to Sandwich. Clear so far. Has a Famas if he wants to go for it, but frankly, with the health, the Deagle might be the better ask. Oh, there's the swing, there's the check. Now the information on, now they know. They're going to play together, and Cynic will erase him from this earth.
Well done. And then Cynic upgrades himself to the Famas off the Mach 10, and that gives Nouns double digits, 10-7. Because Evil Geniuses invested into that previous round, they will not have a buy-up here. At least some pistol upgrades, right? A couple of Deagles will come through, but likely going to be an 11th round picked up for Nouns. EG sending 1 player into the apartments. The other 4 are going to go for some mid control. And they will have Cynic to deal with, who's got the dualies. He doesn't have a rifle, just the dualies, and he makes it work for at least 1. bwills is supporting. And I almost feel like Cynic's trolling a little bit with this type of play. But either way, MarKE gets a couple, and CJ wraps it up with a pretty bow. So the predicted result, regardless.
I don't mind it, because now he can get the op up in this round.
It is true, yeah.
There you go. There you go. EWP coming in. Not the worst thing in the world. Presumably AWP coming in. Cynic taking a lot of time to buy this.
Okay. Well,
no, he's going for the rifle.
Okay.
Interesting. That is very interesting. Wanted the utility, I suppose, but I mean, even that,
no, he would have had enough for utility. And maybe because they're on a bonus round, he didn't want to risk buying up an op should they lose it.
Yeah, wants to keep the money for the next. It's interesting.
Right.
The aggression here pays off early on. CJ opens up another round. This dude is just unstoppable at the beginning of halves, apparently. He needed to recharge. That was in the last few rounds, but he's done so now. And he's unleashing fury upon EG.
Man, oh man. CJ, the king of Mirage.
Seems like it. Seems like it.
EG stalled out now. They've still got the util to go for a proper execute here.
I think they were hoping some aggression would come in somewhere on the map. Give them some, get back in. Some sort of signpost to lead the way. They also didn't know, you know, this was actually cleared outside a ramp. A little wary of it. Smoke gonna come over. Player at the bottom of Con. This is being watched for. This smoke's up late. Walco's gonna take this space. Ooh, is he gonna go through the smoke, slip into the stairs? He is indeed, so this isn't being read necessarily. Walco gets one, trades instant though. Great response from bwills, and now it's very disjointed. Now you've got Junior or Stan. Someone needs to make a hero play, and well, Stan might be able to do so, but they're both focusing on the same player, and that allows Cynic the space to pressure Stan. Junior, position known, isolated, no time. He's out of clock. He's fortunate to not go down after the timer runs out.
Yeah, just got to throw yourself at them at that point, and that's exactly what he does. There's the loss bonus. He had no chance of saving the op, of course. And that means Nouns are on to 12. They win the bonus round, and Cynic, well, there's plenty of money now. There's the op in play.
He got it for free.
Exactly.
Off the body of Junior. It's even better than buying an op is finding one. Best value you could possibly get.
Absolutely. And Cynic gonna try and go for that opening pick towards mid. Doesn't get the chance though as the smoke blooms immediately, but Carson in the meantime, that's in the B apartments, gets the headshot onto George. It's just pistols for EG, but Carson could farm. There's the second, looking for the third. Why not? 3K for him, holds his own, can back off now, leave the rest to MarKE.
I mean, I think Carson's pretty happy with that. It's been a quiet game for them. It's mostly been, you know, Yoda in the backpack of CJ as Luke, but now get himself some numbers. Junior gets at least a little glimmer of hope to think he could have done something with that round. Not gonna happen. The graffiti even comes out.
Well, this time Evil Geniuses can't afford to get off to the same slow start as they did in the first half because, you know, the map will be over if that happens.
Yep. 5 rounds already to start this one.
Jeez.
Here's your gun round. Realistically for EG, I mean, unless there's a bomb plant, this might be your one real chance to get into this game.
Yeah, exactly. The bomb plant and the full loss bonus, so I think they'll still have a decent buy even without the bomb plant. So I don't know. Either way, this is not the situation that they wanted to be in.
No. No. Certainly not.
And that's why they're talking things over on the timeout.
What would you tell them in this moment? What would your comms be? Get into the mind of Axed. Get in the mind of Tommy. Mr. Tommy, Axed Ryan. What would you tell the team to rally their spirits in that pause?
Guys, you haven't won a single round in the second half.
John, you would be a terrible coach, bro. Do not change paths here in esports. If that's what you think a pep talk is, just don't do any coaching, John.
Yeah, I don't want to be a coach. I honestly, I'm pretty rough, to be honest with you. I'd probably be that coach who's kind of mean.
Yeah, you
like
have
a John
bit of
Tortorella,
a
I guess.
tendency to the pessimism, shall I say, when it comes to Counter-Strike rounds. Yeah. I don't know if you're the motivational voice that EG needs right now. But let's hope that Axed is doing a little bit better of it.
We'll see.
Swing out. bwills gets one, gets information as well, knows there's more here, and you know Nouns are just itching for this fight. CJ in Palace. And Rush wins it. He gets dinked, but he's got the 8K, so he wins the fight there. That's a massive position to take. It's now pressure onto the A side, and you still got this lurk coming up underpass.
Did they hear it?
They're not sure where this is going at all. Which, to be fair, neither are EG. Some utility's been thrown on A, but there's nothing behind it, so actually they're reading this fake. They're reading this really well. MarKE's going to be in position. That's a huge kill from Carson. Softens up the presence. Now MarKE's here to defend. They're going to think the only player's out towards Catwalk, most likely. But no, that's not the case. No one's even anticipating MarKE to be here backside. Now they're out of time. They're out of clock. They've lost this opportunity. Another advantage slips through the fingers of the evil geniuses, and they don't get a single further kill.
I think you said it right, Mike. EG didn't know what they were doing either in that round, looking a little bit lost here on Mirage on their T side. They had the advantage. Just keep it simple. Stop trying to overcomplicate things with fakes and things like that. You haven't even won a round yet. You had an advantage in terms of manpower. Pick a site and go. Don't go back and forth. Keep one person behind. It's not disjointed. It was such a mess.
It was, but I mean, that read from MarKE was massive as well,
yeah.
right?
Don't get me
because
wrong.
The fact that he's so far out, the fact that he's immediately willing to commit to his instinct, with Carson getting that kill on the con player, sells it so well. So that's huge on the timing rotation from MarKE. That is really what wins them the round. I mean, his kill obviously confirms it, but it's the wherewithal to be in the right place at the right time. It's all about the positioning with MarKE. It always is.
He's phenomenal. It's fun to watch him again, honestly.
Yeah.
He's a master of that role, which begs the question, why was he not involved in Counter-Strike at this level for so long? I think it might have been his own choice. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
take
the
a step
opportunities
back.
were there. There was a long time where there was very little investment available in North America. I think at one point he was playing with a team in Mexico, as I recall. But
very briefly.
Yeah. Take some moments. Cynic trying for the no-scope. Gets 2 cracks at it. Might get a 3rd. He does indeed. So, okay. Rush got a couple kills in the meantime, but they did not realize that Cynic was right there the whole time. Cynic's actually going to stick up. This is bold. Despite the Molotov, MarKE's trying to fight in, so there's a bit of a misread for the man who always seems to be in the right spot. Now, another man advantage for Evil Geniuses. They desperately need this round to work out. This was the low percentage buy, but they need something, anything to break their way. And this time, at least, a bomb plant should be a comfortable expectation. And this player outside a murder hole, well, Stan's got that for free, and with it, just about the round.
Oh, the unlikeliest of rounds for EG to come through.
It's not done yet.
It's
not done yet.
Oh,
uh-oh. Stanislaw pushed off the angle. But his position known. Does Carson even go for this? They've got a lot of money on 3 players, but it's not infinite, and this could be a long game. So Carson, he is going to be persuaded to back away, to give this up, to concede.
That's the right call. I mean, yes, like you said, there's 3 players with a lot of money, but it can easily evaporate, and it's better to save a rifle, drop it over to bwills or CJ, and then you only have to buy 1 instead of 2, which would make it a lot more expensive. Not to mention you still have to factor in the util. So, EG do get around. Whoa, Carson. Carson almost lost the gun. Does carry it through into this round. All good indeed. Like we mentioned, still could have afforded to buy into this round regardless, but it's better to have that A4.
Certainly is. Certainly is. So full buy up for both sides. All the money in the world. Mono on mono, pound for pound, an even matchup. Who's got the edge for EG? Not a build here. Rush. Gonna get so aggressive on it, but he's revealed his position, trying to pre-fire towards that triple position. He backs off. And Stan is already
is exposed.
They don't expect this at all. They don't expect this at all. Huge kill for Stanislaw. Now pressure on. There was a jungle player, but not close enough to fight this. They brought the full rotation over in EG. They are going to commit, and they've got the site control. Everything falls to CJ. If CJ can pull off some heroics here, this can still get interesting. He spotted 1. That was the ball, but Rush comes around in the nick of time. And now MarKE into the angle, drops that bomb. Oh, it's getting chaotic again. It's getting so very messy. There's no help for these Nouns players, and they're getting swept away. Cynic with an op. It's defined. But he wants to go forward. The madman that he is right in the crosshair of Stanislaw.
Oh, what a round for Stanislaw, up to 17 frags now. He just managed to slip his way into connectors so quickly that bwills wasn't even aware of the possibility of Stanislaw being there, which meant an easy frag to open things up, and that's when the floodgates really started to crack on open for EG. It got messy, right, on the site proper for a little bit, and I was like, oh, hold on a second. Looks like Nouns might be able to get back into this one, but EG quickly calmed things down, and they finally force Nouns onto an eco, and bwills gets connected on, but he does not go down.
Still, that was a spicy shot from Junior. Quick on the peak. But yeah, not a kill. It's just a USP, so why not make a huge difference either way?
No.
But let's see if bwills gets a kill.
Carson.
Almost. MarKE peeks in. MarKE dies. Cleanup crew is here. So far, no harm, no foul. Cynic with one. But one is all she wrote.
Pretty bog standard there on the anti-eco. There was the rifle that could have made some noise for Nouns, but just doesn't happen. So we go into round number 25, Mike, and I mean, honestly, even though it looked like twice now that Nouns are just going to run away with it and prevent us from getting this deep into the rounds and into the map, EG, never say die, and here we go again.
Here we do. Still, these comebacks are only as good as your worst round in them. All it really takes for Nouns is one to potentially break this through. Still, this is the end of the bank for Nouns. Same goes back the other way. Spot here. The apartments will bait out a Molotov and slow down Evil Geniuses. They were looking like they wanted that explode on towards B off the contact play, but having been seen without the kill, they'll chill for the moment. Time being at the very least. Still holding that presence top mid in the form of Walco. No smoke will keep MarKE interested. It seems like this is going to be an A exec. Set up for the good old classic. Flash is over. Here we go. Smoke's coming through. And on they move.
Walco's the most interesting player here. We'll see if he gets spotted out by MarKE.
He's still smoked off. MarKE's own smoke. Yep. And his Molotov's way too late. Walco's past it. He comes the stairs. This is the position that undid them previously. Could do again. bwills able to get one, but here's Walco getting activated, and a rush plays off of it beautifully. So an advantage found now for Evil Geniuses. That late mid lurk so potent for them. Time's an issue though. 15 seconds. Oh, if the peek came through from Cynic, this could have been over, but it's a little bit too late. He does find Junior though. Keeps this in doubt. Now the clock is their ally on the Evil Geniuses side. Just need to secure this round, and it's a big risk for Nouns. Fight this. He got the dink, but it was through the wall, so not a kill. Not even damage, really. You can guarantee. And they're running out of time. They're running out of clock. They've got a kid on MarKE. He's going to be out. He's dropped. He's down. And with that, they might just try and slip away. A kill for Carson, but that just secures a position. It's over. It's done. Cynic's trying to retreat, trying to bail out. He should be able to.
Yeah, I'm surprised they even go for that at that point, given that they didn't really have the util or really space gained onto the site to try and get that retake, and money was really low. So it would have been better just to go for the save. Instead, they try for it. At least the op comes out of it, but the rest of the team is going to have to settle for pistols here on the half-buy, as the Evil Geniuses continue to crack away at this lead. 3 rounds in a row, looking to make it 4. And their economy has blossomed, especially Stanislaw, who's jumped up to 20 frags now, only 1 behind CJ. Walco. Flashbang going to get thrown here. And that was just to attract some attention into mid. They know that Nouns are going to be on a lighter buy here. Cynic. Well, he could be the one player to make a difference, but given that they're all bunched up and he's now dead, this is probably done. Mission, recover the op if you can. If not, maybe do some damage.
We're starting to look real crispy. Some of these fights. the spam is just to make it impossible to retrieve that. Just to make it as difficult as humanly possible to get your hands on that guy.
I don't think they're going to let them touch it.
Well, what they're going to hope for is they're going to hang out in towards mid and hope that the bomb maybe blows it their way.
Yes. Let's see if that happens.
Actually, though, with the HE's thrown from EG, I wonder if the op's even still in the line to do it. No one's hanging around for it, so it's not going to be claimed from Nouns. We go next.
Yeah, and they still have enough to buy it anyway in this next round, but it would have helped at the very least, especially considering we're going down to the wire here.
Sure doesn't hurt. When they had this kind of decision before... Oh, nope, there's the op. It is prioritized. Yep. Nope, they are going to bring it through. Let's see. Only 2 rounds separate these teams as EG continue. Cynic going to face in towards mid, it seems. Here from the window, they want to get aggressive with it. Rush. Showing face. Once again, this is to set up the underpass play. Been a huge focal point here for EG.
I mean, one thing that's surprising me a little bit is that Nouns aren't challenging more into these mid fights. They're really letting EG kind of have their way with all of this map control. And now Stanislaw is going to boost into the window. We'll see if Cynic's going to be aware of the possibility.
He definitely
Not yet. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's the tight angle. He's holding this so that he can't be overwhelmed, but... Oh, no.
I don't know if he's...
Oh, no, he's peeking wide. He's not clearing this. Doesn't go through. This could be the moment that decides the round. This kill here in window, Stanislaw could open up so much of this map. Just take down the Opper. It's a patient game, though. He's the angler right now, and Cynic's on the edge of the hook, but Cynic doesn't know he's been hooked yet. And if he pulls too hard too early, gonna break free. So patience is the name of the game, is the watchword. A duel.
There's a connector fight too. That might happen.
Oh, Stan loses his nerve first, but he still gets it. The shot goes a bit wide. Now this is a big spot for bwills. He finds the first. Knows the con player's close, but George is a little bit quicker to the trigger. And now it's catastrophe on the site for Nouns. They're pushed back. They're at a disadvantage. The bomb is going down. What can they hope to do? MarKE wants to lead the charge, but he's lost his life. And with that, it could just be done. CJ trying to be the hero. But his cover is slipping away. If they don't get this kill in window, this one's done. Through the murder hole they go, but that's such a huge commitment. George now knows with the Molotov, and Carson just slips away with this AWP.
Oh man, Cynic is going to be kicking himself for that missed shot because he had the opportunity to take down Stanislaw. Shot goes wide, and then Stan cleans him out. Stan was waiting for so long, and like you mentioned, lost his nerve. But luckily for him, the shot was not good from Cynic. And now Carson's desperately trying to save this op. Flashbang to get tossed. He comes around the corner, and oh my goodness. Over aggressive on the attempted save, but I guess you could also argue he had no choice but to fight for it, given where EG ended up. So no op saved. Not much money here. This looks like a 14th for EG.
It's looking like we're going 30, John.
Oh, yes.
This was dominant from Nouns.
That's a slow start.
The climb in started back. Yeah, I mean, it's both halves, right?
Yeah.
8-1 before we end up with an 8-7 half. Insane. Now here in the second half, 14-7 before the climb back in from EG. Now they just need one more, and it's against the Pistols. Evil geniuses apparently just take a while to rev their engines before they're actually going to get off the starting line.
It was a little too late on Inferno. Here on Mirage, less mistakes, let's say, than we saw on Inferno, that's for sure. And now they're one round away from tying things up. Nouns going to bring a little bit into this round. It's going to be a couple of Deagles, 2 5.7s, and the USP. We saw how potent that 5.7 can be. It was on the other side, though. George towards Banana on the CT side when Evil Geniuses were over there. But now here comes the execute for EG onto the A side. This looks like a straight execute. I don't think they're going to mess around too much. They charge on forward. Mirage Gonna throw another smoke here for Connector before the rest of his team filters on forward. They're waiting for the close angle fights here from the pistols. George clears one out. Cynic engages in a fight, goes down to 81 HP, and Junior's just gonna try and plant in the open. Kind of risky, because they don't know if anyone's towards CT, but yeah.
He was covered off from Balk. In that moment, he was covered off. Still, the peak could have come from CJ. Could have gotten interesting. Carson. Oh, Carson's going to get very interesting with this. Rifles can now be picked up. AK can be salvaged. This is going to get downright spicy. MarKE and Carson have AKs in their hand, and we know how dangerous these players are, how lethal they can be. There's no kits. We got to go quick if they're going to do it. And EG knows this. They're trying to whittle out every second on this clock. Rush flies into the fight. But MarKE needs to find these kills right now. He's tapped the bomb, but it's too late. They can't win it. They cannot win it, and they know. MarKE's going to keep them here, but it doesn't really matter. He can get every kill he wants. The end result is 14-all.
Ooh, sigh of relief for EG. They have the money, so it doesn't really matter, but that got way too close on a round that Nouns did not invest much of anything into. Those two 5-7 frags were crispy and did lead the resurgence for Nouns into that round, but it was just a little bit short towards the end. I think a kit would have made a huge difference, because then they wouldn't have had to panic and try to find the rest of the bodies. Could have taken that little bit of extra time in order to get the retake and be effective on it, but just didn't have it in their hands. So Stanislaw tossing the nade on forward. bwills down to 79, and here's that aggression I was talking about that I thought Nouns would employ a little bit sooner, but better late than never, I suppose, as they have that mid control and force EG back.
Carson's going to be pressured here. Taking some space in here towards the apartments, and Junior looking for this shot as well. Carson's been info jumping a lot, so if Junior can hit it, he's got it. This is the only B-side defender.
Man.
MarKE is trying to rotate in quickly, but Junior has that read on their positioning. They know how this Nouns default works, and now EG have every advantage. Junior has delivered it to them.
Just feels like every single player on the EG side woke up here, or at least the key contributors that we expect to see ridiculous performances from Junior in particular, and George as well as Stanislaw.
Bomb down, it has to be a save. Nouns are gonna have to play for overtime from 14-7
Jeez, this is ridiculous.
to fighting for a chance to even stay in this series. This is the 8th round in a row for the Evil Geniuses.
I mean, you said it before, it's not just 14-7. It was 7-1 in the first half, and then they only got one more round after that. And then here in this second half, 14-7.
Astounding. Truly astounding, this comeback. A couple empty frags here on the end will maybe help them keep these guns alive. But if they even lose one, it's a bitter pill to swallow, and indeed they have.
Wow. Eight rounds in a row for EG. This is just, I'm a little speechless, Mike, to be honest with you, because Nouns, you know, they win on Inferno in a way that honestly was pretty tough for EG because they made so many mistakes and really couldn't recover from it. And then they come onto their favored map. They've only lost here twice over the last 14 times they played it. 6-game win streak plus 70 round differential. And yet, Evil Geniuses find a way continuously to get back into this map and the series. No chance to end a regulation. They're going for the quick hit towards the A site. Two players here waiting for Nouns. The op is one of them. Cynic's been a little quiet lately, and Junior's been the one to start connecting on those shots. Walco setting them up with the flashbang to push on forward. Here they come now. Cynic, info hop. Perhaps saw a body, but not sure. Cynic does get tagged by Junior down to 13 HP. bwills trying to support, and George finishes off Cynic. There is the opening frag for EG. Only 4 remaining for them to take this map in series.
Massive. Truly massive. Nouns gambled on a little bit of a mid setup, and it left them soft towards A. Now losing Junior, or sorry, Cynic rather, makes it all that much worse. EG content to put some air in this one. Put a pause in this one. Now the utility comes over. Problem with putting that time in is means that now that they're going to hit, they got to hit good. They got one more smoke available. This is coming in, and that's a timely peek from bwills. Able to get that kill and get off scot-free. Drops the bomb, confirms it as well. The full rotation keeps him in, but look at this mid-play coming in late as well. Stanislaw, he's making noise, though. He's not making a secret of this. He's still gotten a kill, but he should be traded here momentarily. He is indeed. But it's a fight on site that matters, and bwills, he's making it happen. That bomb's now ticking away. They need a hero, and Junior wants to deliver this to his team, but he can do no such thing. It's all on the rush. The man who once triumphed on the stage in Boston now must try and bring down 3, and he's mollied off. They're not on the bomb yet, though. Here comes the stick. They've got the smoke for this. Rush knows he has to force this issue, and he's down for the count. We're going for more. We're going for overtime. We'll be right back. Overtime, more rounds. Last map of the night. You know it had to be spicy with the way this series has played out between Nouns and EG. But we thought for a moment when it was 14-7 and Nouns hadn't dropped a round in the second half that maybe, just maybe, it was going to be clear cut. But John, we were fools.
Yeah, and the most surprising thing is that it wasn't Nouns with map and series point at the end. It was Evil Geniuses. They came back and won 8 in a row, but not 9. That's not we're here in overtime.
No one wins 9 rounds in a row against Nouns on Mirage. And of course, actually, I don't know who it would apply to. The normal rule is that whoever then gets the comeback on them then wins the round that they needed, the first round of overtime. But at this point, I think that applies to both teams. Cynic sticking around the corner, fully blind, didn't realize he was out of cover, and 2 swift kills from EG mean that they are looking very good in this first round of overtime.
Yeah. Nouns obviously don't have to save here. Enough money to buy regardless, although we do have the 10K money, right?
12.5.
Oh, 12.5. There you go.
12.5. The best of both worlds. Money's not infinite, but can't throw it away. Still, getting 2 quick kills is definitely going to coax them back into it. Time's going to be a concern, but they've all got kit, so it's not a massive one. Big kill for MarKE. Tap on. Got the big kill. Oh my goodness, they're going to stick it. Where is Stan? Why is Stan on B?
Why is Stan on B?
Why is Stan on B? What on earth, Stanislaw? He was playing for the exits. Round was still on, man. It wasn't done. In overtime, he's hunting exit frags. Stanislaw, a few too many steps ahead, so he may get one more kill, but he loses the round, and Nouns defuse right under his nose. Or rather, not under his nose, because his nose was on the wrong site. That's gonna sting. Now Cynic follows it up with a big opening pick. He's put on notice. He's knocked down low, but he's able to get away from it. Nade into window would ruin his day.
My God.
Still reeling from that last one. We're gonna move on, John. We're resetting.
I'm reset. I'm just
putting
trying
that out of
to
our mind.
Get my brain to process everything.
EG have been slow to start every half. Apparently that rule still applies in overtime. Cynic once again caught with just a little bit of his body sticking around from cover, and MarKE flying right into Walco's crosshair means that this advantage is gone back the other way. Stan now getting a kill. This sets them up beautifully. A 2-on-4 this time around. 3-on-5 last time, 2-on-4 this time. CJ gonna make those numbers a little bit more favorable. Carson's gone. It's all on to CJ now. His position, no, they don't need to fight him. Well, I suppose they do eventually. They need to get this bomb back, but Stanislaw will redeem himself here by putting this round to rest.
Yeah, I was going to say they do need to fight him to get the bomb back. But either way, there we go. I mean, that's the same way, excuse me, that's the same way round number 31 started out, with Evil Geniuses having a significant advantage, but then to continue to chip away at them and then get the defusal, because of course that was the site. That time though, the Geniuses a lot more composed. Even though they lost the bomb, they methodically made sure that Nouns would not round. Juniors boost on top of the head of his teammates. Maybe a run boost will come through eventually. This time, though, they just want to pair up the top of that smoke into connector. And bwills eats a nade, goes down to 55 HP. It's the last round of the first half of the first OT. Evil Geniuses want that edge.
I'd go so far as to wager that both teams want that edge.
Do you think?
I think they might.
I don't know.
We'll have to ask them. We'll have to double check. A lot of utility exchange here and towards mid, but it has been conceded to EG. They've got a con as well, and that's been a huge position. bwills tried to take the information out ramp instead, but George was waiting this time around. So now, pressure on for the Nouns. And Walco's position at stairs. This has been so effective, but they've played it a few too many times. Cynic's ready for it. Shouldered to check. Punished with the AWP. Now the ace in the hole is gone. They may not expect Junior to still be in the same position as well, but he's got to have some control here to control the rotation. Now the hit's coming in. 35 seconds. They are committing in. The rotations, they are happening. And that's a huge one from Junior. Takes out the cap player. That allows him free scope to move on in. Carson, though, he's dropped the bomb, and now he can play off of that.
Oh, my goodness.
20 seconds. He's going to get real spicy. That Molotov, I don't think it's as effective as they were hoping for. George realizes it. Oh, he faces. That might be it, but Junior through the smoke. Oh, my goodness, Junior. A lead for the Evil Geniuses out of the first period of overtime.
Well, that was chaos. No question about it. Evil Geniuses back and forth on that site. It looked like Nouns had it. Carson connecting on the shot with the op, but at the end, Junior throws the smoke and then gets the final blow against Carson. So there is that slim edge heading into the second half of what could be only one overtime, or perhaps we're destined for many, many, many overtimes here tonight, Mike. Yep.
I need you to simmer down here. Just take the rounds as they come. Let's just work with what's in front of us right now.
Oh, look, given how closely these two teams
no
play against each other,
predictive elements whatsoever, John. Let's just take what's in front of us.
All right,
That shot through smoke spicy for Junior in the last. Now they're on the favorite CT side. What are they? Are they putting that off?
This is
Towards the ticket again. Oh, they want the mid fight. EG loves this mid fight, man.
They did really well with the double op, right?
Yeah.
Last time they were on CT, I'm surprised they didn't run it immediately here in overtime. It's a heavy investment, but still.
You'll remember at one point in that double op as well, they swapped back to the rifle voluntarily.
Yes.
I think it has to do with how they want to call individual rounds as opposed to just the economic situation at this point. Facing towards the apartments, MarKE making some noise here. It's drawing focus. They're trying to attempt a response here in mid, but okay,
Wow,
MarKE just
what
gets the
was
kill.
that?
Cynic gets another, and now things are getting very interesting indeed. They don't realize George is a fan. George and Stan kills at the exact same time, but can Stan get away with this? Yes, he can. That's massive.
Great movement.
His ankle's clipped, but yeah, around the corner, that movement is huge. Still 50 seconds, still plenty of time to work with him. With the smoke still up, Hero and Colin, they're going to work through a catwalk. This is the perfect read. George is pressed all the way into the courtyard, but it means that there's no one actually watching the site proper. Oh, that smoke's faded now. This is a risk, but it's a risk that pays off. And now having killed Stanislaw, knowing that he was the mid player, gives him quite a bit of read.
I don't know if they expect George to be in apartments.
This is wild that no one's watching it. This is his last known position, last confirmed position, and he's still there. He never moved. He never moved out. He's just showing pure domination.
And now 2 more opportunities for EG to close this one out. Yeah, I don't think they realized how deep George had gotten into the apartment, so they were expecting to be somewhere on the site, hiding bench, perhaps van, but not in apps, peeking out from second window, right? Really well done from George. Hitting all the shots, of course, is even more impressive as he gets a 3K to cap off the round. So here we go, potentially the last round of play here on Mirage. Cynic burns down to 41 walking into that Molotov. So now he just wanted a quick shot, but didn't get anything, so backs off. And now it's going to reset themselves. They do have some presence towards top mid. That's Carson with the AK. He's just hiding here for the time being because he's not aware of what could be lurking around all 3 corners here on the CT side. Luckily for him, no one's there. He doesn't know it yet, but eventually will. Very passive for EG at mid, Mike. Compared to the way they usually set up on CT side, this is a very different look.
It is indeed. Junior, though, wants them to peek this off. They're going to give him exactly that, and that's going to take Cynic out of play. So off the off, comes out on top. The swing on the second mark. He somehow delivers that. Looked to be a dead man, and he will be, but for the moment, Smoke's going to have to secure the positioning.
Is George alive?
They obscure so much vision on towards the site, and George is eventually claimed. But it's a 3-on-3. It just brings them back to even standing, and now major pressure on Junior. Finding the gaps in the smoke. Continue to make good on this AWP. Stanislaw makes the murder hole live up to its name, but the bomb is dropped, and Walco's going to quickly realize that he has control of this. Oh my goodness, he's gonna do one better.
Go!
He's gonna finish it off, and that's gonna be the game. The Evil Geniuses have done it. They did it the hard way. They fought long. They fought far. This went the absolute distance, required a monumental comeback and overtime, but they have done it and taken a win over the Nouns.
You just have to look at Mike's hair at the end of a match, guys,
To know
to
how
understand
crazy
how
it was,
crazy it
yeah.
is. Yeah. So I mean, I'd like to get pictures of every single time we've had crazy matches, just see how crazy the hair is there, Mike. But